Good morning everyone. So today I will share a review about an article. Before that, I will introduce myself first. My name is INTAN BERLIANA WATI with the name 22188 20 30 and 32. Okay, this is the basic information about this article. The title is Conversation Analysis of Turn-Taking Mechanisms in Ever After Movie. The author is Siti Aisyah and her institution is Universitas Negeri Surabaya. The journal publishes in Language Horizon with volume 9, number 2, 2021. And this method research is qualitative approach using documentation technique and descriptive analysis of film dialogues. Okay, the next is background and literature review. So this article is based on the theory of turn-taking and conversational structure proposed by Sachs and Yulee. The reviewer literature include the definition of conversation as an interactive process that requires cooperation between speaker and listener. So this previous study, such as just by Nugroho and then Huda also. And then the K concept is taking the floor, holding the floor, and yielding the floor. Okay, the next is research methodology. So the study adopts a descriptive qualitative approach. And then data were collected using the documentation technique from this film, the Ever After film. And the primary instrument was the racer as the observer, and support by tools such as laptop and mobile phone also for accessing and recording data. And the analysis was conducted based on the turn-taking theory. Okay, the next is feeding data analysis. And then the data analysis reveals that the dominant turn-taking mechanism used by the characters such as the yielding the floor, that is more than 30 time occurrences. And the second is taking the floor, that's especially the starting up category, that is 14 times occurrences. And the last is interruption, that's only 4 times for occurrences. And then in constructing the conversation, character frequently use back-channel signal such as and which indicate attentiveness without interrupting the speaker. Okay, this is the example from the film illustrate several forms of turn-taking. The first one is starting out. That is when a character begins speaking with head distension. For the example, Maurice and Gustav using and And then the second is interruption. This when the Prince Harry interrupts a sovereign to assert his authority. And the last is yielding the floor. This is when the king directly addresses Prince Harry, who passed the throne to the Baroness. This demonstrates a well-structured and comparative dialogue. Okay, the next is strength and weakness. So you can see on the screen, this one is the strength and this one is the weakness. And then we move for the strength first. The first one is clear and structured explanation. That means the article present a detailed and well-structured analysis. The second is relevant and concrete example from the film. That means it uses concrete example from the film to illustrate theoretical concept. And the third is strong understanding of conversational theories. That means the article demonstrates a strong understanding of conversation analysis or CA theory. And then the weakness. Okay, the first one is limited to a single data source. That means this article limited to only one film, so making the context and finding less generable. And then the second is log data. This means lacks interviews or data triangulation to support the documentation analysis. And the last is do not explore cultural or social context. That means the article doesn't provide in-depth discussion of the influence of cultural or social context in turn taking. Okay, the next is conclusion. This article successfully demonstrates that turn-taking mechanisms such as yielding the floor and taking the floor are highly dominant in the conversation of the film ever after. So, back-channel signal also play a significant role in maintaining smooth interaction. And this research offers insight into how film dialogues can reflect real-life communication participle. And then, the author also suggests that future studies explore different social contexts or film to examine the variation or conversational strategies. Okay, that's all about me and thanks for your attention and I hope this presentation has give you a clear understanding of the article contribution. Thank you and see you. Bye bye.